Yo, baby, what's happening? It's D-Town up in here.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, baby, we in the studio.
Yo, X to the Z back on the mic again.
Well, you know it. It's young and
Yeah, baby, we running this old school now. This is the read.
Hey, yo, Sona, this is for you, girl.
Yeah, that's how we do. Demacia. D-Town is where I be, yeah. Original gangster, ODG, yeah. I'm all up in your bushes, take a look and see. Check with your face and now you're adding to my killing spree. Don't matter if you bought 4 or 5 health potions. I spin the wind from the bush, causing a commotion. You want the side lanes to push, what a foolish notion. Justice and judgment is rough, hope you bought Torrent's lotion.
Is that X to the Z? Oh my goodness gracious. My talons are 3 and my charge is audacious. Is that your build, noob? Man, that ish is outrageous. Push you back to your base, hope your D is tenacious. Here's a tip, noob, and a spear to go with it. LTP at that vest before you summoners ripped it. Are we all up in your bushes? A straight MIA. It's D-Town in the lane, noob, just go AFK.
Noobs don't know they places, checking with they faces. OMG, we got another first blood. You better put some words up. Noobs don't know they places, checking with they faces. OMG, we got another first blood. You better put some words up.
up in here. Yeah, I'm new to the scene, but after running from a rain, straight making you scream. Demacia, yeah, tossing my laser beam. I'll reach it down with a friend and set you up for my team. All the boys try to chase me, stop them right in their track. Talking about sort of the occult, they say it's got 20 stacks. Please, I know you're talking, it's just straight committing perjury. Keep staring, scrub, I'll get you laser surgery.
Coming fresh out of the smithy, what up? It's Young Hammer charging all up in your face. Don't need no zoom on that camera, cause you're gonna want a screenshot to prove it's legit. When devastating blow does 4K on a critical hit. You keep coming back for more like you a Robble Stomp addict. I'll just do you like before, my immunity's diplomatic. Thinking you're so scary up in here with CC. I'll run through it to your carry and noob, that's GG.
G-spot running down the gust in the lane. And with my ultimate bust, you know I'm bringing the pain. I got flash ulti skills, and when that ish hits, I get penta kills, you get penta rage quits. Stay the rock, got my switches if you know what is best. Boy, I don't give a rock about your range DPS. I don't jungle for Baron, I get that vote for free. If Baron wants to push a base, he's got a jungle for me, yeah.
Noobs don't know they places, checking with they faces. OMG, we got another first blood. You better put some words up. Noobs don't know they places, checking with they faces. OMG, we got another first blood. You better put some words up. I got my red and blue buff on, I'm looking so ill. You hear the alarm? This ain't a sunfire drill. Got your whole team swallowing they blue pills. You'll need the whole keyboard to hotkey my skills. If there was a way you could win, maybe I'd give you a clue. The situation that you're in leaves you with nothing to do. You're trying to gank me alone, oh so conspicuously. When I take your whole team alone, you're gonna QQOP. The Journal of Justice tried to cover my last match. Ryan's working real hard, trying to nerf me in the last patch. Your ATLO, about as good as it can be. Noob GTFO, there's no way you can ban me. Yeah! Man, this 5v5's not even fair. Y'all gonna need some backup. Where's Sivabot when you need her? D-Town, we out.
Hey, yo, ODG.
What up?
Hey, man, you seen Sona lately?
Yeah?
Hey, she say anything about me?
Man, it's TFU.
What? Oh.
Now I know it's scary wandering around up in here. You don't got no vision, and there's Udyrs and Warwicks and Nocturnes running around.
You got Nunus, you got Trundles, you got Shaco, couple of Shakos. You thought the jungle was neutral? It belongs to us.
You can't see nothing.
You can't hear nothing. You can't
smite nothing. It's the jungle, baby.
When you're up in the jungle, you need animal instincts. I'll demonstrate it. I'll show you how my primal skin thinks. Tearing it up, got them changing their pants. Got my crouching tiger, show that dragon my hidden stance. Changing forms left and right like I was a Decepticon. Past tense in the team fight, racing down the Autobahn. Not just any scrub can put Ionia on his back. Controlling the jungle, and I'm poning you on the track.
I'm looking by the river, riding my Yeti and popping dragons like pinatas. Raining confetti, I'm creeping up on ya. About to have a tragedy, doing the slow route. Need to borrow a machete. You're nervous and sweaty, you feel you're hugging your teddy. My blood is boiling, cooking noodles from my eating spaghetti. Boil it up, make it hot, like the summer Serengeti. Cool you off with the snow, I'll slow you down, get you ready for the troll.
I ain't sneaky, no need for stealth. Busy fighting creeps accruing my wealth. Dying next to me, restoring my health. You belong on the top, but my pillar of filth, I know a thing or two about pain. Come on, let me show you like a lawn after it rains. And I'm gonna mow you, got another thing coming. If you jump me alone, I'll redefine your contaminated zone.
Lizards and golems and dragons, oh my. The canopy's so big in here you can't see the sky. Littered with the bodies of champions who died. Welcome to the jungle, let's go for a ride.
Oh yeah, this is off the chain right here. Let's get Ramus up in here. Where he at?
Yeah, where is Ramus?
I don't know. They nerfed his power ball, so he's a bit slow getting around.
Oh, there he is coming out the side hatch. Hey, Ramus.
Yeah, what up, Ramus? You ready for this?
Okay,
All right, bring it down.
okay.
Are you gonna rap? Okay. Well, we're out of time, so we're gonna let the girl do the chorus.
Okay.
Lizards and golems and dragons, oh my. The canopy's so big in here you can't see the sky. Littered with the bodies of champions who died. Welcome to the jungle, let's go for a ride.
I'm your very own so nightmare. Get your team fight where I'm gone. But suddenly I'm right there, you're paranoid. Cause I'm turning acolyte. Make you fight the king of light. Wish you had wiggles landed right, please. Money gigs on you at level 3. Fresh off a golem, I know you ain't expecting me. Trying to trick you using all your fancy fat tricks. Fool, I'm a dust bringer. Keep raining with a hot fix.
I got a joke for you to listen to. What's black and orange and covered in new residue? It's me coming out the jungle, laying down a gank or two. After I dab you on the tower, doing dragon steel and blue. Try to chase me down and run into my jack in the box. Duke you out your socks, hot up the blocks. I got you falling like the bear market stocks. The joke's on you. Did you even read the Ramstein interview?
I jungle so fast, I can do dragon on both maps. Leave you hot and cold like the water from both taps. Get you so mad, now you're typing in all caps. I'm filming this new, gonna get it all on craps. Warwick was born in the jungle, been here since day one. Life stealing on my own, don't need no potions. Running at you from the bushes like it's slow motion. I like it when they turn tail, it's only fun if they run.
Lizards and golems and dragons, oh my. The canopy's so big in here you can't see the sky. Littered with the bodies of champions who died. Welcome to the jungle, let's go for a ride.
Ooh, what's the matter, little Carrie? You look a bit lost.
Why don't you let us help you find your way back to base?
Does this taste a bit ashy to you?
Hey, yo, ODG.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, Lux was looking for you, man. You look down. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I know that look. It's a woman, isn't it?
Yeah,
Why don't you tell me about her?
okay. I met her out on the battlefield, looking sharper than the sword that I wield. I was watching her dance to the bloodshed medley, put me in a trance. I bet her lotus is deadly. And I love D-Town, and I know that she's Noxian, but I won't let these politics box me in. What I wouldn't give to end this charade, get her all to myself and bounce her just like a blade. I might love her so, I just wanna hold her in my arms, but every time I try she shun pose. I might love her so, and I'd change my appearance for her, maybe even go commando. I might love her so, but everybody tells me no, these Noxians have got to go. Oh, baby girl, you gotta believe that there's a way we'll be together. I've still got some tricks up my sleeve. Girl, you gotta believe it's hard, but we can beat the odds. I don't care if they say it's naive. Girl, you gotta believe the public won't approve, and I know cameras are hard to deceive. Girl, you gotta believe me when I say Noxus has to leave, but you can stay. You can stay.
Typically, if I need someone to die, they don't even get a chance to look me in the eye. Most guys don't even get a his shot at one and done in me. Didn't even try to, but he spun and won me. He knew the most effective way to woo me was to slice right through the man next to me. I admire the power of the way his lane pushes. Boy, stop hugging that tower, come and face check my bushes. I might love him so. He tried to get away, but I still decisively said no. I might love him so and change my appearance for him, give him a red card for show. I might love him so. Everybody tells me no, Demasia's got to go. Baby boy, you gotta believe there's a way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's broadcast. We are here with the ggC, and where's that Skype button? There we go. We are ready to rock for CLG versus Fortnite. But, I love you. You there, dude?
I could be.
You could be, but...
I might be.
But can you be?
I should be.
You should be. Alright. But I love you, Forecourt Jester. We're going to be here and telling you the tales of the battlefield. Today we got Fortnite and CLG playing all the way from Korea. Did you catch out, did you check out the OGN last night? I got to see CLG up against the Koreans, and oh my goodness, those Koreans are strong, man.
Koreans are always strong. Come on, look at StarCraft. They just dominate everyone. There's like a whole... It's like a special thing to play on the Korean ladder for StarCraft because they're so much better, and it's actually more of a esports scene there than it is America, unfortunately for us. But no, I didn't actually not catch this game. Sorry, I was actually playing League last night. But I did catch the CLG versus EG game. I caught Game 1 and a part of Game 2, and I heard Game 3 was kind of interesting, where Epic actually threw the game kind of and gave CLG the win. But that is in the past, and now we're here with the, I believe, last semifinals match of the ggClassic, and the winner of this will be facing off against TSM.
Hot. TSM already into the finals, so either way we're going to have a fantastic finals to have. So we're going to see what CLG can do with this new Korean experience under their belt, if they can improve from it, because that's the only way to do it. Go up against the best and learn. And we already got some of these picks and bans out. Twisted Fate, Kennen, Cassiopeia for Counter Logic Gaming. Twisted Fate. There's a character that's been coming back into the scene.
Oh god, Twisted Fate is like one of the most annoying champions in mid lane, in my opinion, because it's like when you're playing bot lane, it's pretty much a 2v3 because you always have to take into account that TF might come down and gank, which I mean, you can easily counter ward that in the middle just to kind of prevent those ganks, but still, it's just one of the most annoying things. Sorry, I still just woke up like 30 minutes ago, so my mind is waking up. But yeah, one thing about CLG though is they are playing with about 200 or about 150 plus ping. So skill shot champions are really hard, but they kind of haven't really cared about that. I believe against Epic Gamer they played a lot of skill shot champions and did quite well, landing at least like 90% of them still. So kind of shows what kind of team they are and how good they are. So.
Well, on the flip side, Fortnite has banned out Udyr, Dr. Mundo, and Shen, 3 very jungle-ish kind of champions. And Dr. Mundo really been having a huge resurgence. Great counter jungler, can throw out a lot of harass, and especially if you rock with the Smite exhaust, you know, that extra exhaust for those ganks can definitely serve you well. But 3 bans coming out, those top lane jungler-esques from Fortnite, and we're gonna have to see what they want to roll instead. And you can already see some of the picks here. St. Vicious with the Janna first off, and looks like maybe mid Morgana, and I'd have to wager a top Shyvana.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. I mean, Shyvana is obviously really good in the jungle for really hard counter jungling, and that Udyr ban out of Fortnite was completely targeted at St. Vicious because he's been playing Udyr almost every game, it seems, at least once out of every series as Udyr. And also Mundo as well. He's been playing Mundo quite hard or quite often, and I'm really curious to see if that is going to be a top Shyvana or not, because I mean it's against a Maokai jungle who is more strong with his ganks than he is in jungling. He's not extremely quick in the jungle, so Shyvana has an easy opportunity to kind of take away any buffs and kind of control whatever he feels like in their jungle.
Sona, Maokai, Urgot. Nope, not an Urgot. looks like Fortnite is actually going to be taking that Lee Sin, or they're just going to keep going on and on. But Rise for Dan Din. So what do you think? Maokai in the jungle? I think Maokai in the jungle sounds good.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Maokai in the jungle. And there's a Rise middle with the Kog'Maw Sona bottom, which I'm looking forward to seeing against, say, Janna. And I'm maybe expecting a Vayne or a Caitlyn out of double lift, just because of the poke of Caitlyn just having that range in Janna. And I believe he does typically run some lifesteal quints with the Janna as well, so it gives him that, I believe it's 9% lifesteal lane, which is really significant. And you can start with that Dorn's Ring. That's how you get the 9% of the Dorn, with the Dorn's Blade, sorry. But I kind of hope he does go Caitlyn or something like that, just to see him play his favorite AD champ.
Double lift has actually been on a tear with Ezreal as well, so always
no, Corky. People are actually looking at the chat now. People are saying like Fortnite's not even the same class as CLG, but I don't think what people don't understand is that Fortnite has been up and coming for a while, and they've been getting stronger and stronger. And with the addition of Dan Din, who can really lead a team well from the jungle, like he really has all of the game sense that anyone could ever have in this game, and he really can help turn a team that was good and make them even better. And I think we actually might see some really good action at Fortnite here, and I think a lot of people will be surprised at how well they'll do.
Well, Corky now cemented here for double lift, and Hotshot taking that Olaf, so probably going to be that Olaf top is my wager, because we do have, well, if they would settle down, they would pick someone. I'm a little curious as to a Sona pickup for Fortnite, because we've really seen Sona just kind of plummet through the tier lists ever since a few IEMs ago, when she was used like every round, and then she lost every round in the following big IEM tournaments. So I'm a little curious as to that, but Janna definitely one of the #1 up there. And there we go. So we are going to be taking, I'm wagering Swain mid, Rise top. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we might even see Swain top, just because he's able to heal up at level 6. I mean, Rise is able to as well. But I don't know. I really have no idea. I'm really curious to see. And that Sona pick, yeah, you're right. At Hanover, Janna was more of like the favorite support to be played, and I mean, Sona's not bad. It's not. I mean, she got nerfed a little bit, but that was way before Hanover, so it's not like she's completely changed in any way. And having that Maokai initiate followed up with Never Move from Swain, followed up from a Rune Prison from Rise, and not to mention a Crescendo from Sona, you have so much control in a fight that she's a perfect addition for this team. And Kog'Maw, who's completely like protected with this team as well, can just go to town, and hopefully, cross your fingers, we'll see that happening. And seeing Hotshot play Olaf top, oh my god, Olaf is easily becoming my favorite top champion, just because of how he counters that top lane with his true damage. And a lot of people aren't used to seeing that. And the downside to Olaf, though, is if you play against a ranged champion, you have a little bit of a problem. But I mean, it's Hotshot. He has so much experience, years of it. He'll easily be able to play that top lane, and he's actually running Flash, which is interesting, and Teleport. So I think we're going to see a lot of dragons out of CLG, because typically if you pick Teleport, you really want to go for those and kind of use Teleport to your advantage early game, because if you don't, then you pretty much have a wasted summer as well.
Well, they are now all cemented. We're going to get this rolling. I do see Fortnite has a Clairvoyance instead of more things like heal or exhaust, but it is going to be Fortnite Parole taking that heal instead. So the AD carries picking up heal seems to become fairly cemented and standard these days, but there's still a lot of debate about the usefulness of that Clairvoyance. I've seen really excellent applications of it. I've seen really, why did you take that kind of ideas, and Chaucer actually running the same thing as well. So it's almost like a mirror summoner match down south. And not exhaust, sorry, that's Ignite on both Swain and Rise, and not one of those more aggressive setups for Dan Din. He's just going more of a typical Flash into Smite. So Flash into what is it, the root, the Arcane Stump?
Twisted Advance.
Twisted Advance into the Arcane Smash. I said stump because he's a tree.
Well, the thing about the supports taking Clairvoyance is the junglers. They have such dynamic routes, and Shyvana is extremely fast in the jungle. You really need to kind of control her with that CV to kind of tell where she's going, or you're going to get counter jungled extremely hard. And the same for Chauster. If you turn that CV, Maokai, played by Dan Din, can really do early ganks. He can really Well, that's actually sorry, that's the strength of Maokai, is just early ganks, and you really need a spot where he's going out to protect your lanes. And Dan Din has such easy lanes to gank pre-6 here. The Rise's Rune Prism, the Never Move from Swain, all he has to do is initiate with that Twisted Advance, and you're pretty much going to have a guaranteed snare coming from whatever lane you're going to. And I'm really curious to see if he takes advantage of that early game against Morgana or against Olaf, who pre-6 Olaf has no way to escape that pretty much.
Pretty much. All right, so we're going to get this rolling, guys, and you are listening to the Four Chord Jester, and but I love you. That's how I'm saying your name every time. So
that's fine. People say many things.
And we're here camping out on the GG Chronicle main stream. Semifinals coming up. And guys, have you always wondered what happens when Ari casts Charm on a Yi using Highlander? Because, like, I have no idea what would happen. But the guys over at Stack Exchange Gaming, they have the answers to questions like these, submitted by gamers who love experimenting and helping each other out. So check out one of the premier sponsors of the ggClassic, gaming.stackexchange. And yeah, pretty cool website. They're giving away a ton of free merchandise as well.
Yeah, they're giving away, I believe, a couple solid state drives, a couple of monitors, as well as a lot of RP as well. So definitely check that out. And I believe you could enter those by actually registering on their site and actually putting ggClassic in your profile.
Yep, so make sure you guys hit that website, pick yourself up some free merch. My League of Legends has done the silly thing where it becomes a quarter of my screen, so I'm going to rely on you here to just tell us what everyone buys as I fix it.
That Kog'Maw skin by Parole, using that new one, it's so... That's one of my favorite skins.
That's
just
the
how it looks.
one?
Yeah, the Jurassic Kog'Maw. I really wish they would update it a little bit and put, like, you know, for his for his E, put like a tar pit down or something like that, but they didn't. That would look so amazing. And then as well as Chaucer's Janna, that Frost Queen Janna is also one of my favorite skins.
Well, you know, if you make a petition, it might happen. You remember that Halloween Nocturne skin? It's like, why does he shoot that black stuff? Well, now he shoots that white stuff. Make a petition. Riot will make it happen. Yeah.
It's not white stuff.
Great, thanks. Twisting everything. Come on.
Show you where my mind is right now.
Yeah, no. Let's leave it there and never go back. All right.
Let me see. Actually, Dan Din starting with that Regrowth Penance, so he will be going for that early Philo Stone. And we also see Bloodwater actually running 4 wards, so it looks like he's going to be warding his own jungle to help prevent St. Vicious from actually counter-jungling them, and he's actually headed to that top lane to kind of ward down as well, as we see. So a really good play by him, though, because St. Vicious always likes to be aggressive, and it looks like we're actually going to see Fortnite going top, and then we're going to see CLG going bottom, so they might actually miss each other here.
Alright, I love it when LOL decides to just not remember stuff. Okay, we are in, we're ready to go, we can see everyone. So, representing the blue team all the way from Korea, Counter Logic Gaming, here to do their best in a best of 3 with all that ping under their belt. But Fortnite not going quietly into the night. They are set up to, you know, have themselves into those finals with TSM already waiting there. So give it up for your favorite team, guys. Place your bets. Do you think Dan Din's new team has what it takes to take out Counter Logic, or is their training in Korea going to be too much for Fortnite to overcome?
Yeah, I was actually just looking around, looking at some runes a little bit, and we see Hotshot actually running some Arbor runes, looks like some Armor Yellows, and of course Magic Resist Blues going top lane, and just making sure if there's anything out of the ordinary here, but everything looks pretty standard. And it looks like St. Vicious actually started his own race here, and Dan Din actually doing the normal race trick where you put 3 of the saplings down, starting at 105, and toss that last one to pick up the kill, and there you go. So we're actually seeing an early game top lane. Checking out Trevor's his first skill, and he did take Never Move. So.
Well, the early golems going to each of the top lanes, and Bloodwater unfortunately tanking. A few too many of those, but looks like he's going to be just going on back and then head on down. We got everyone gathered here on CLG over at the red buff. St. Vicious is going to pick that up. Clairvoyance going down. We know exactly what's going on. And do I see a little bit of a shift? Because I see a Brolaf heading to the bottom lane to take on this AD Kog'Maw.
Yeah, it's actually... I was trying to point something out. I just noticed is that, okay, so Dr. Trevor took double goal in the top lane, which gives him that level advantage top lane, obviously. And I was thinking Dan Din might try to come top to go for a gank, like immediately, because then you'll see Dr. Trevor level 2, you'll see Dan Din level 2 against double lift 2, who is level 1, and And not to mention, we see, yeah, just like you're saying, we're seeing Hotshot bottom 1v2, seeing Doublet for a 1v1 top lane, and I'm not sure how I feel about this bot lane because Olaf, our Hotshot, really can't do much against the Ranger Kog'Maw and the Harassed Sona. Well, and not to mention, Siobhan doesn't really have that strong of ganks, so he really won't be helped out too much by him.
Well, speaking of ganks, we got a 3-man gank squad coming top from CLG. So now we had to have called Miss Mid already. Rise is just sitting there all alone. You can see Trevor really freaking out because, yeah, unfortunately, there's no one around. They do have a very defensive ward, so he was able to spot that. There will be no kill going down there. And all Hotshot has to do down here is just make sure that this bottom lane just doesn't take too much tower damage. That's all he has to do. And at the same time, the top lane of CLG is the only aim they have is to push down this tower as fast as they can. And you saw a lot of pressure coming up because they really wanted that kill on top of Swain, and that would have allowed them a lot of free damage with these minion waves. I mean, look at the minion difference in the top lane even already.
I have to say, Bloodwater with that early ward and that tri-bush just saved Dr. Trevor the first death of the game, just clearly. Oh my god, a 4-man gank, or sorry, yeah, that was a 4-man gank. We saw Siobhan, St. Bishop just go top as well. That was actually really unexpected for such an early point in the game. And oh god, sorry, I'm just like so happy it was a ward there because that would have been disastrous. And yeah, a Doublet with 23 CS compared to Dr. Trevor with 13, and that's not working out well for him top lane. But then again, bot lane, we see like pretty much opposite thing happening. Hotshot with 8 CS compared to Pearl's 24. So I mean, even though even though you know each lane for each team is kind of trading, I mean it is equal obviously. So like it's having repercussions in top and bottom.
But they're pretty expected at this point. There's nothing really upsetting. It does seem to be, other than that 4-man gank, nothing really else going on. Saint has done some decent work doing some counter jungling, but they just respawn so fast that Dan Din has actually not really missed out on too much of his time. Now he is going to throw down this ward, which is his little buddy, and he is going to find Big Fat LP. But no, Dan Din going to be jumped on because they did find him there. This could be the first blood, but he is going to Twisted Advance right in. Hotshot GG with the teleport. Yeah, so not exactly dragon worthy, but hey, they get the first kill, and now Dr. Trevor in the back, he's just going to be like, oh, alright, well, I can't stay here. There's the clairvoyance going down, so Chaucer can immediately see him, and this is probably the death of the first tower.
Oh yeah, that is easily first tower, and we see St. Vicious heading bot to guard their tower, so it's an easy trade for them. CLG picks up first blood, picks up first tower, and their bot tower is fine. They don't even need to worry about that. Poor Dan Din though. I was expecting, you know, Twisted Advance into a flash away, but he popped his flash a little earlier to escape that Morgana. That was so dirty.
Crazy times about. So I have to wonder right now, with the playstyle that CLG is showing us here, Hotshot has the blue and the red now, and oh yeah, Dan, don't show yourself because that would be very painful. And the very big aggression that they're showing. I mean, right now we got a gank going on into the mid, the Rune Prison coming out, but it's not going to be enough to really shut down Hotshot. But look at that flash, beautiful by Kramer, going to get away from that teleport. I have to wonder, or that tornado teleport, what? Are they trying to just end this game at the 20-minute mark? Are they trying to do this as fast as they can?
Well, we saw a game recently with TSM playing against Dignitas where they actually did the same thing where they put their AD carry and support top lane and they put their solo lane bottom just to kind of scare the other team, you know, to kind of throw them off, and it actually worked out for Dignitas, I believe, in that series. But yeah, it looks like CLG's really trying to take this game early. We see Hotshot really aggressive teleport top, which left his lane completely open. But they did pick up that tower, and they did pick up that first blood, and the gold advantage is starting to really get in heavy favor of CLG. I mean, 1k gold lead is not that much, but 6.5 minutes in, it's actually quite a bit for teams like this.
Well, it's a first kill. It's a little bit of counter jungling from Saint, and now let's look at the creep score. 44 for Kog'Maw. I mean, he hasn't really left the lane at all, so he is kind of leading, except that Corki has actually overtaken him. He's at 52, 54. He's just really a wrecking machine at this point with those double Dorn's blades.
Yeah, in the meantime, I actually see a gank going down. We see St. Vicious coming in for Kramer here, and Kramer's just kind of trying to kite away, trying to dodge any of Big Fat GG's dark bindings, but he just ends up staying around a little too long and does go down. So that is now second blood going to CLG, and they're really taking this game away. They're really taking advantage of everything they can, and yeah, Dan's still getting counter jungled pretty heavily by St. Vicious here.
And Dandin has actually, yeah, he's really holding down this mid lane because, again, this big aggression, I can only imagine that these towers are going to be dropping in fairly short order, and that is allowing a lot of freedom for Saint just to run around this jungle. I mean, Hotshot's even taking these golems. Maybe they're just picking on Dandin.
Yeah, and we actually see that we have a roaming Janna, Chaucer's just roaming around, we have a roaming Sona with Bloodwater, and bot lane is just a Corki versus Kog'Maw, and I think CLG is really trying to, like you were saying, take this game really early because Kog'Maw gets extremely strong, way stronger than Corki could ever get late game, and Swain as well. Once Swain gets tanky, gets a little bit of AP, he's so hard to kill, and as well as Rise, but by trying to force this game early like they're doing, they really deny any chance for them to take it late game and become really strong, since Fortnite really has that strong late game team.
Yeah, if Fortnite can successfully turtle, I mean, the two AP casters, especially if we get a double Woda going with all the tankiness, and then a Maokai for initiation, and just let Kog'Maw from the back, their late game will definitely outshine. But they got to make it to the late game. I don't think that's what CLG is really has here for the plans. The Clairvoyance going down does find Dandin trying to do the blue, and they also find Sona there as well. We do have a ward, but a purple going down. That's going to be clearing that out, so we might have a free blue for CLG. Let's see what Fortnite wants to do.
And yeah, St. Vicious picks it up. He sees that smite on him, and you're talking about having that Maokai for late game as well, and Maokai pretty much completely counters that Morgana ult if he can at least get his ultimate down before hers, and just the AoE damage that they can provide. I mean, Shyvana does actually do a decent amount of AoE damage with her burnout, and Corki still has a lot of AoE damage with his Q and his E, and not to mention, his rockets wants to shoot those out as well, but I hope Fortnite can really hold on to this because I really don't want to see like a stomp for any of these games, because this is a semifinal. It's the last one of the series, or last one of the tournament. So you kind of really want to see some big plays happening and some really close games.
A little bit of a dragon attempt going down for CLG, but Fortnite does respond very nicely. There are two wards, one of each, so they're just buddy-buddy system. Don't go anywhere without your fellow ward, and that will get denied. Now, Olaf is up top. He is just kind of sitting around, and he does not have teleport. In fact, he just used teleport to get to top lane. So he's going to do a little bit of defense, and it does look like CLG will give this up to Fortnite because they do not have Olaf to help them counter. So they just spread out to the other lanes. Saint goes through the jungle, no problem, and Chaucer battle mage Janna in the mid.
Yeah, one thing about CLG is they made it pretty public that they do not care about Dragon in the long run. I mean, there's no point, I believe what they said was, there's no point in potentially wiping at Dragon just for something as small as that. I mean, because, wiping at Dragon completely causes a game to get out of your hands. And what's the point of that when you can just push a tower? And, there's really no point for them to kind of set themselves up for, a comeback for Fortnite.
Again, more counter jungling going down. Hotshot now level 9, 2 levels over top of this Swain. Swain actually throws out the laser bird and the ultimate, but it's really not going to dent Olaf that much. He's rocking 55 magic resist without actually any kind of magic resist items, so he might actually have a little bit of scaling. Is that what you were talking about a little earlier?
Oh yeah, I was just checking out his runes, and he was running some armor yellows, some magic resist blues, and I'm not really sure what Quincy's using, or reds. I'm assuming he's using some attack damage reds, or maybe even armor pen, because armor pen on Olaf, at least flat armor pen, is amazing because it stacks with his ultimate perfectly. But yeah, I mean, he's not going to take much damage from Swain, and he's obviously not going to die to him since he can just ultimate out and run away.
Now this bottom lane is under a lot of fire from CLG. The turret is under half health. It's only Kog'Maw and Sona to defend. Now under the turret, it does look like Kog'Maw's going to have an easy time picking up a lot of these creeps, and that's going to be putting him, he's still leading in terms of creeps for his team, 92, but you can see that, again, Corki's still really up there, 96, hasn't actually gone back yet. How much gold is he sitting on? He's sitting on 1,500 gold at this point, so he could go straight for the BF item, might go straight for Triforce. I'm really kind of curious what this aggressive CLG makeup is going to demand in terms of items.
Yeah, Douglas really been, I believe actually against Epic Gamer, he did go Triforce and Corki, so I'm kind of curious to see what he does go. But I mean, honestly, he is really close to getting that BF sword, and it really depends on what CLG wants to do. If they really want to drag team fights out to kind of do a lot of poke, because obviously Triforce is amazing for poke, or trying to just burst them down in some way, which he tried to be going for like an IE, but I guess we'll find out. And we're seeing Swain actually getting really close to his Rod of Ages now. He's up to, well, 2 pieces of his Blast One and his Catalyst, and he's about 100 gold in, so about 700 more gold and he'll have that, which is pretty much like a must-need item on Swain, just for extra mana while you're ulting, extra health, and not to mention in lane, even though we are kind of out of the lane phase, and CLG is roaming around, really controlling the buffs, really taking advantage of this roaming comp they're kind of running right now. They took away 4-Not's blue, they took away 4-Not's red just now, and they're really trying to deny Dan Din, who is level 7 compared to St. Vicious, who is level 8.
Yeah, and Hotshot's now actually level 10, gathering a lot of solo experience under his belt. Double lift down south, level 9, still hasn't gone back, but Kog'Maw looks like he's going to try to force an issue. We're not going to bother Valkyring around because he is not going to be doing any kind of tower diving. So it's kind of been a very atypical bottom lane. We had pretty much the AD carries just by the
Kramer coming down as well. He does put that ward over the wall and ignite double lift too. Now will be Valkyring away, but unfortunately is not enough and does go down to that ignite. But that secret, that surprise ward, I mean, I would have pooped myself if I was double lift there and just saw ward go down and seen overload coming over the wall.
Well played by 4-Not. That puts a kill on the board for them.
Yeah, that dragon they got not too long ago really kind of put him back in the gold race here, or down less than 1,000, as we can see, and they're really hanging on. I'm really happy to see this. I really hope they can keep dragging it out as long as they can, and I think we're going to come down to seeing some Baron action coming down pretty early in the game. I'd say like pre-20 minutes we should see some Baron action, or at least some contesting of it, since CLG does want to end this early, it looks like.
Maybe a little bit of an overextension here from Hotshot, doing a lot of harass on top of Dan Din, but that Swain with those birds, is it going to be enough? Are we going to be flashing in? No, we've already used all the flashes, so Hotshot might actually be setting himself up to get away, but we do see Sona not actually going to be carrying on, and Hotshot gets out of that sticky situation, no problem.
I would have loved to have seen like a Sona kill there. I was hoping she would go in because she would have flash and her crescendo up to hit him. And Hotshot does not have his ultimate, I believe. Yeah, does not have his ultimate up to get away. That would have been awesome. And we actually see Double Up 2 just died there, came back to lane with that BF Sword and Vamp Scepter, so he could be going for that early Bloodthirster, or could be going for an Infinity Edge. I would assume he's going to be going for that Infinity Edge, but I guess we'll find out. And I'm really happy to see him not going that Trinity Force, because I did an ult 10 with him not too long ago, and he did mention that you know, Trinity Force isn't really that strong for a 4,000 gold item. It's much better to go for like an IE, which puts out so much more damage in the long run. But then again, it depends on your comp. If you're trying to go poke or pure damage, so.
We've been seeing a lot of AD in the top ranks these days. Just pick up that Vampiric Scepter just to have it. Like, they might make it something a little bit later, but typically, yeah, just leave it there for a long time. Yeah, it just adds to that Vamp style of play, and yeah, I will agree that we're probably going to see an IE out of him first.
The sustain a Vamp Scepter gives you, if you just leave it out of Vamp Scepter, is amazing. I mean, you really don't need to build it into another item. You don't need to commit it into a Bloodthirster. You know, early in game, we can go for an IE, which does so much more damage early on. And I mean, pretty much every AD, you'll see it pick up about two Doran's Blades and a Vamp Scepter, and then just leave it at that, and then pick up a VS Sword, turn it into an IE, and go Phantom Dancer. So there's real no need to turn it into anything yet, which is a style that's actually changed, not too recently, but recently.
Hotshot doing some exploration, going Dora the Explorer mode, does find out that there's nothing in this jungle, throws down another ward from that Wriggles, as Kramer has to really kind of fend off 4 CLG members at the gate. Now, we do throw out the Dark Binding and the goo, but it is expertly avoided. And yeah, you can see Rise just trying to clear out this minion wave, trying to minimize the damage to this tower with his ultimate. But no, we're going to jump in. Dan Din from behind. That ultimate coming out. Double lift. Not looking so good. He's not going to escape that one, as he does get one last Q from Kramer out. Now we do got Perol here, who's going to pick himself up another kill. And really good reaction from 4-Not there. CLG.
Yeah, that's
a little out of position.
That's very well executed. Sorry about that. That's very well executed by Daniel for that initiate, followed up by Bloodwater crescendo, and Pro came up as well and picked up that kill on Corki, picked up that kill on Morgana, and really he's getting really strong in this game now. He is 1-0-1 with that BS sword as well. And one thing I want to point out is that Chouch is actually running Oracle. Since CLG's roaming around together quite heavily, they really want to deny that vision and really make 4-Not kind of play passive and be a little scared because they don't know where CLG is. But now we see second dragon going to 4-Not. And for the first time in the game, Fortnite actually does take the gold lead. So I am really happy at what's going on. This is going to be a really good game and hopefully a really good set of 3.
I feel like a lot of the steam that CounterLogic was bringing to the table has kind of started to edge off. I mean, they're down in the kills. They're now down in the gold. They still got the tower advantage because of 1 extra tower. Yip-de-doo. I wonder if this Baron is going to be something that can really bring them back.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it can. Baron is one of those things that can completely turn a game around. And when you're kind of in the lead, like Fortnite is right now, I mean, I honestly think Fortnite actually is in the lead. They're in a really good position to keep setting this game up. The longer the game goes, the stronger they're going to get. I mean, that's just how Rise works. That's how Kog'Maw works. And Swain just gets super tanky. But, wow, I actually see Dan going for some action on here against Hotshot, who does steal that red buff from him. So I think that's actually the second red buff of the game that Dan's actually been denied.
Second or third.
And we're saying about Baron, I mean, when you're in the lead, there's really no point to ever attempt it and potentially lose it.
Similar mentality to the Dragon.
Yeah.
Well, Fortnite is just really staying together. Dan is rocking that Oracle, so he's going to find that ward. Looks like maybe a top push is going to be in order. Kog'Maw up here as well, so that bottom lane is going to be all Corki, but the tower is down, so they're not too worried about losing too much. But no Bloodwater getting caught by the bindings is going to drop to Big Fat LP, so great pickup right there. Awesome binding from Big Fat LP. Now Dan is going to be here off to the side, but he's going to throw out the little sentry, but there's nobody going to be there. Hotshot's going back to town. Oh, nope, faked out. And I think we're just going to lose this tower if this pressure does not go away.
Yeah, in the meantime, we see St. Vicious actually pushing mid lane and getting that tower down. Now Dan St. Vicious going head-to-head, and St. Vicious obviously just going to run away. Does have his ultimate to jump away as well, so Dan won't be able to pick up that kill. And yeah, one thing about Bloodwater Dynamite there is luckily he did not have the Oracle on his team because Dan is actually running it for them. So, I mean, that was a bad death, but it could have been a lot worse if he had that Oracle.
And there's the give up. It's just we surrender that top tower to the powers of Fortnite. As yeah.
And now some actually going in at bottom. Sorry, Kramer actually going head-to-head with Doublelift here and decides to run away as Doublelift's doing some heavy damage to him, and he Valkyries, but he glitches out on my screen at least, and Kramer does pick up that kill with that flash. And that's the second kill for Kramer on Doublelift. He's really trying to deny Doublelift any way he can.
Well, Doublelift, he's the AD, he's down here, he's not exactly fed yet, although he does have that BF sword, and he was just kind of solo pushing with no kind of fallback. So yeah, good punish right there by Fortnite, really knowing, you know, that hey, he was out of position, we can get a kill, and that's going to put him up again in the lead for kills and gold, although the turrets are still one up here for CounterLogic. It
seems to be a thing for Doublelift, or at least recently. He seems to like to push lanes without any ward coverage. As you see, he had no ward coverage. The one at blue buff we're seeing right now actually was just recently put down, but he seems to always do that, and he always gets caught overextending, right as we saw right there. And actually we see Kramer actually picking up a QSS, which is quite interesting. He really wants to stop Morgana. I mean, because he kind of can push out anyone in a team fight if he can get away from Morgana's ultimate, and hopefully he will be picking up this blue buff here, which I believe will be the first one. Actually, they're giving it to Dr. Trevor, so this is like the first blue buff minus the first one of the game. That will be going to Fortnite, and Fortnite's really showing some presence in this game. They are taking the lead. They are up by 1.3k gold, and I'm really happy to see like how the addition of Dan really turned this team around. I mean, they were good before, but now they're just playing even better.
Throwing down a ward at the Baron, but yeah, I do believe that is the first blue in at least 20 minutes that they've been able to secure. But you do notice it took all 5 of Fortnite to chase off CounterLogic during all that, and there's only 3 CounterLogic, maybe 4. But either way, the whole team had to come together just in order to take their own buff. So Fortnite, you know, they really want to do things right. They don't want to take any kind of risks at this point, and it is the semifinals of the GG Chronicle. I mean, here at the ggClassic, you want to get to those finals.
Yeah, they really wanted to give Dr. Trevor that blue buff, and actually some action on top. Hotshot being a little aggressive. St. Vicious actually ulting in as well, and then it flushed over that wall to help out Parole. And we see a nice dark binding from GG coming out, and now Fortnite's on the push here, trying to push into Hotshot, who is really low. Now, really nice never move from Swain, but Hotshot does ulti out of that and does not get stunned. But yeah, they really wanted to give that blue buff to Dr. Trevor because Swain with the blue buff is so strong in a team fight. I mean, you can't really kill him unless you have that ignite up. And we see that CLG's actually running 1 ignite. So, you know, by by, you know, just grouping up for a second. I mean, you lose a couple CS in every lane, but you get that blue buff where it needs to go, which is really what Fortnite needed to do, and is what they accomplished.
So we're still, it's a really low kill game. I'm actually a little surprised. It's 3-4 with about 1.5, 1.8k gold difference at this point. One turret. We're past the 20-minute mark, so what kind of big items have we picked up? Other than the QSS for Rise, which seems to be a little bit rushed. I mean, it's his first big item past the Tear of the Goddess. It does look like he's going to get a Frozen Heart sometime soon. Other than that, I mean, we only got really a Zhonya's and an IE for Kog'Maw. Like, do you see anything else that's huge? Oh,
not
IE
really.
for Corki now.
Yeah, but that, just want to point out is that Kramer actually is 3-1 with 182 CS. He's actually leading the game in CS, leading the game in kills, and he's doing quite well. And that QSS, I mean, I think we'll see become a really big part of for Fortnite in a team fight. And actually see them trying to go for a Baron here, and CLG does realize it, and CLG trying to do a little bit of harass, but does miss everything. And hopefully Dan, who is an experienced jungler, can't get the smite. Now some action coming from CLG. We've seen an ultimate from GG onto all 5 members of Fortnite, and now Kramer's being attacked by Hotshot GG and Saint, trying to be pushed out as Sona does go down, and now Parole goes down as well. And Corki is pushing, actually is pushing Dr. Trevor out of the fight. Sorry about that. And it looks like, wow, barely picked up, Baron barely picked up by Fortnite here by Kramer, and he will be dropping as well. And CLG with a really hard engage there. That was an amazing ult from GG to really separate all the members of Fortnite and force them to kind of back off, and it caught him a little off guard. I don't think they really expected him to flash in there, and that Zhonya, as you see right there, just proved to be really strong for him and saved his life. But I mean, Baron, for the sake of 4 deaths, actually, sorry, that was 5 deaths, and 1 tower, maybe even 2 right here, is not that good.
An ace, 2 towers, but they did get the Baron, so they got the gold, but they're not going to be able to use that buff. And yeah, that's exactly why you go Zhonya's first item on a Morgana. You just jump in there, and it was a perfect placement for the ultimate as well. It's just like they're all crammed into Baron. Baron is just having a field day, just destroying them. So it's like a rock in a hard place, except that the rock is a giant man-eating worm.
Yeah, it looks like Bloodwater actually was a little late on that ultimate on his crescendo, because we saw, you know, Dan, who had his vengeful maelstrom down there, really preventing a lot of damage. And I really nice ultimate from Bloodwater, and then followed up by like a never move from Trevor, really could have changed that fight around. But it seems like communication wasn't there. I don't think they're really expecting CLG to rush in like that, because they did have all the wards cleared out.
8-6 is the score. We still got a gold lead here for Fortnite, and it does look like big pressure coming to this bottom tower. That will equalize at least the tier 1 turrets that are down. And yeah, there it goes, bam, into the dust. So that's going to be putting up still ahead in the gold. And I don't know, I don't think Counter Logic Gaming is too worried that, you know, the enemy team was able to take down the Baron, because they've gained so much from it. You can see the shopping spree coming out as well. Shirilia's Reverie now from Janna. Wits End on Shyvana. And Shyvana, again, just destroying things left, right, and center. There goes that other turret by the inhibitor. So that is a very vulnerable mid-inhib.
Yeah, one thing CLG really likes doing is they notice that you're pushing one lane, which Fortnite was pushing bot lane, and they say, hey, you can push that lane, but we're gonna, you know, counter push. We're gonna get your middle tower, which they did right there. Fortnite was, you know, they had 4 members down at that bot lane, which clearly did not need 4, and by sending that many people down there, it really unfortunately didn't work out for them. They kind of, I guess, really weren't prepared for CLG to push down that middle tower, and Dan all alone there wasn't able to defend it, and it did drop. And now, like you're saying, that open inhibitor, that's going to be a big thing. If CLG can backdoor that anyway, then they're really going to have an advantage for like a Baron fight, or just for pushing other lanes.
5-4 coming down the mid. They're going to be trying to exact a little bit of justice. This tower virtually untouched as Dan walks headfirst into a Morgana binding. You can see the poke coming out from Double Lift as well. Looks like a Phantom Dancer is in his future sometime soon. Already has that Zeal. And maybe a little bit of a poke war, but Fortnite, I mean, they killed the Baron. They don't have that Baron buff, so maybe going a little bit more aggressive at this point isn't the best of options. They didn't win that team fight. Great Valkyrie coming up from Double Lift, avoiding that. And I think Hotshot might be a little bit out of position here.
Yeah, definitely. And the one thing about Fortnite is once they pick up that Woda, I mean, well, the first Woda is going to be amazing, but if they pick up that second Woda, all this poke won't matter at all. All the poke that CLG's doing will just be shrugged off, because you can heal up from Bloodwater, from Sona, and you can heal up from just casting abilities. So, you know, this poke that double is doing really won't work out for him. I mean, it really won't do much for them in a fight, as we're seeing here. And Fortnite actually being a little aggressive, you're trying to get that tower, and CLG's on the push here. St. Fish is going to realize ultimate on all the members of Fortnite. And GG's actually out of place here, trying to get around to help out, and he's actually going to be sneaking in here as he does. Pops the ultimate, picks up Dan, and we'll be picking up Bloodwater as well. And now Hotshot coming back and run up to Trevor, and still GG right there, just that perfect placement, waiting, not really trying to go in too early. Picks up a quadra kill, and maybe even well, not quadra kill, but 4 kills for CLG. And looks like Kramer's actually going to survive this. But wow, that was actually really well played by GG to kind of sacrifice St. Vicious there and just flash over that wall, and then an ultimate onto all the members of Fortnite. And Kramer actually flashed him for the kill on double it. Wow, he's getting super ballsy now. I like this.
That's like the 5th time he's done that this game. Maybe an exaggeration, but he's...
it's at least the 3rd.
He can definitely see those opportunities. Like, oh, well, there's Corky. I have enough burst. Okay, flash, dead, win. Good game, well played. And Kramer, I think, has now single-handedly stopped any kind of big advance that Counter Logic was able to capitalize on there, because they did take down 4 for 2, but then Kramer comes back in, takes out the AD carry, and, you know, doing a lot of aggressiveness up the mid lane to that very vulnerable inhibitor was really nipped in the bud right there.
Yeah, but one thing for Fortnite, though, is that Devlet actually did pick up the QSS, so this is not really good for him. They won't be able to pick him off too easily anymore.
More like he
can easily get away. Yeah, he didn't do it for his own will, or out of his own will. He did it because he had to.
Yeah, he likes living. You know, that Yordle has a strong will to live, man. And Rise is very anti-Yordle at this point. He just jumps in and just destroys him so often. So 6-2 right now for Rise. He's doing excellent. 200 creep kills.
Change the subject there.
Yeah. 214 for Kog'Maw, who is actually leading at this point, but it's fairly even across the board for those two. 214, 215, 212 for the AD Corky, and Morgana a little behind, 173.
Yeah, it looks like Pro actually will be picked up his Fade Dancer. He can back and actually buy it right now, and in a team fight, if Corky doesn't have that, which Doublet doesn't, that's going to be a completely huge thing for Fortnite if they can engage while they have that item advantage. And hopefully we'll be seeing him backing out pretty soon to pick that up. And I'm kind of curious what he's going to be going for his 3rd big item. If he's going to go for that Last Whisper, or he's going to go for something a little tanky, because Hotshot is rushing straight for him to kind of get him out of the fight, try to pressure him extremely hard. And he might need that extra survivability, maybe even like a Bloodthirster for the extra health, or the extra lifesteal in a fight against Hotshot, because I believe he can beat Hotshot one-on-one right now, but if he gets some more lifesteal, he could easily beat him, or, you know, take that fight easily. Instead of having a little bit of a hard time against them right now.
Well, the only person actually stacking armor for Fortnite is Rise. He's sitting at 170 something. So a Last Whisper would be really good after picking up a QSS just to counter that Rise. But I don't think it would be like the best thing that he could do. Of course, I could be wrong.
Oh, actually, I meant parole for out of Kog'Maw. I was wondering what the 3rd item would be.
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking Yordle for some reason. Baron is up. All those menacing eyes and Counter Logic is happening. Shot.
Oh no!
Teleports in. And
they had the advantage on that. Parole was actually extremely out of position in bot lane. They could have taken that Baron easily. Oh, that's unfortunate for CLG. I guess they didn't have any sight of where he was.
Well, they had sight. They got a lot of different wards in that jungle area, and all right. Well, no Baron going down. That's cool. That's a 500 crit from Double Lift. Good times.
Yeah, the one thing right now is there's no reason to kind of force a Baron fight, because if you lose a Baron fight and the other team gets Baron, it's pretty much lost for you. Is how the scheme's going right now.
Or
so you know, CLG's like, or we could go another half hour at Team's Turtle, but CLG's kind of like, you know, what's the point of potentially throwing this game just for a Baron when we can pretty much still go head to head against Fortnite in a team fight? There's no point giving them that opportunity to take it from us. So I guess it was a smart play on their part, and they really want to try to make sure this game lasts a little longer and not really give it away, because this is best of 3, and the first game does mean everything pretty much, because you have that second game to kind of sit back on it and not really worry about.
Well, mentality is a big thing. We're poking down this turret. It is dropping at a fairly alarming rate, and if Counter Logic doesn't do any kind of hard engages here, they are going to be losing this because they can just clear these creeps no problem. There you go. Like, they don't even last 2 Kog'Maw hits at this point, and now it's back to square one. We're going to have the red creeps marching down. We're going to have that fodder. We're going to focus down this turret, and then we're going to have to see what CLG wants to do. Now, unfortunately, Morgana went to town. Now, Fortnite doesn't know this, but she now has a Rabadon, so they could have easily taken that tower, but, of course, they're not us. We have that awesome godly eye spectator mode, so...
Yeah, they wanted to... They actually said GG back and they sent St. Vicious back because there was no reason defending this turret. Because if they lost that turret and lost a couple of members, they could have been pushed back another turret and lost their middle inhibitor turret. And GG actually did back and pick up that Rabadon, so they were willing to give that tower away, but Fortnite didn't really notice that. And they were going to obviously really defend that inhibitor turret with Morgana's Death Cap, who's going to just destroy Fortnite right now if he can land a really nice ultimate.
Well, we're back to our familiar position here of let's destroy the CLG turret. The score is still 12-9, which is mind-boggling to me because we have 21 kills in 33 minutes. We've only really accrued about the 45,000 mark. I don't know, it just seems like a very slow game.
Yeah, a little bit slow. I definitely expect the second game to be a lot more fast-paced than this, just because one team will obviously have that advantage, and Hotshot getting cut off a little bit here in his first ultimate away. So now Fortnite is in a really good position to actually do a team fight here, because Kog'Maw will be completely safe against Hotshot, who cannot just run in and go for him. So hopefully we'll see this tower go down and a team fight, or maybe CLG won't even let it get to that. They'll kind of engage before that tower does drop.
It is worth to note that Counter Logic has still been consistently, lower on the gold for, I don't know, I'd say at least 20 minutes now. I mean, they had that early aggression at the 6-minute mark when they were up at 1,000 gold, and ever since I think that Dragon, they've really been actually lower. So all that steam has definitely run out. The game is now drawn out to 34 minutes. Shyvana with the Frozen Mallet. I'm a little surprised that we don't have the Frozen Mallet yet on Hotshot, but he is only rocking 500 gold. So once he gets that and Shyvana gets her Frozen, might become a different story. Like, we might just be biding our time. You can see Fortnite heading up to the Baron area, but we do got a ping going down. Sorry about that. Up here by the Wraiths. So are we going to see maybe a Baron bait?
Well, actually, there is no vision for Fortnite on Baron. I really don't know what they're doing here. It looks like they're backing out. Or maybe it's just a little mind game, and CLG is actually rushing straight for this Baron here, leaving Hotshot towards the middle to kind of distract him, and luckily Dan does spot that. But Baron is going down extremely fast, and we're going to see it engage here.
Yep. See, Shirilia's coming in. Dan, they did see Hotshot. He does not have Ragnarok, but he does now. Although, I'm hoping that Fortnite knows that, but no. Wasted Shirilia's. A lot of aggression, but nothing really to follow it up, and I kind of feel like I'm just watching two ninjas dance at this point. Like a twitch of an eyebrow and something's going to happen, but until then, we're just going to contently look at each other across these creeps.
Yeah, Fortnite had no ward coverage on that Baron, and luckily, actually, not wasn't Dr. Trevor. Sorry, Bloodbar actually did back and pick up 10 wards. That is a lot of wards. And I see some action going in here in the middle.